guys, it's Unders. Today we are having a look at Wave's new plugin, the F6 Dynamic EQ. If these videos are helpful for you, please pop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. It does help me out massively in creating more content for you guys. So what Waves have created here is a fully fledged dynamic EQ. Now a dynamic EQ allows us to work in the same way as a normal EQ, except the bands also respond to the dynamics of the material as that's going through them. So similar to a multiband compressor, except dependent on Q and different gain thresholds. There's generally not a ratio setting generally, but in this case we do have that. So they vary massively. I'm going to do another video comparing it to other versions, so Neutron and Ozone's different dynamic EQs as well, to really show the differences between them there. But in this video we're just going to have a look at the probably best value dynamic EQ I've ever come across. So I just have it loaded up here on a vocal channel, which just sounds like this.
Riding all night long with you by my side, nothing left to say.
You can see the dynamic EQ there on bands 4 and 5 really controlling on the sibilances of the S's. If we take this off, you can hear those much more.
Riding all night long with you by my side, nothing left to say.
What that's doing, if we take band 4 for example, which has a threshold here, when this threshold is passed, it has a reduction of up to 6 decibels based on this frequency and the roll off of the Q here. What's really great on here, if you click solo, you can see the exact band that it would be functioning in, which is much narrower than you would get from most multiband compressors out there, including say the FabFilter multiband, which is probably one of the best hybrids out there between. Now what is really nice here is you can have these two bands really quite close together, and they very subtly cross over, which allows us to grab two particular points. Now the reason I've done this, as you'll see, between 4 and 5 on different sibilances, they are affected differently. If we watch it,
riding all night long with you by my side, nothing left to say, feeling emptiness inside.
You see how on side and whatnot these behave differently. So watch where certain sibilances 5 is pulled down more, and then others 4 is pulled down more.
Riding all night long with you by my side, nothing left to say, feeling emptiness inside.
Now if we had a multiband compressor in this area, it would just compress based on the threshold of that and just take the whole area down rather than just adjust those particular frequencies. So that's what's really quite useful about being able to do it this particular way.
Riding all night long with you by.
That has all the other features of an EQ as well. What's pretty nice to see in the dynamic EQ is down here on the left you can go stereo, mid, or even work inside separately. So click on side for example, a little S appears here to show you working in side mode. It would only respond to the sides of the signal.
Riding all night long with you by my side, nothing left to say, feeling emptiness inside. Silence.
It's really nice to have that per band. Equally there are high and low pass roll-offs, and most bands you can change between whether they're going to be a shelf or a bell EQ with a fully adjustable Q, threshold, attack and release as well, which you wouldn't normally see in a dynamic EQ. You would generally, they would just behave based on the dynamic material, but they've given us the full scope of what we can do here. There's also a sidechain mode between split and wide. I think that's probably going to be looked at deeper in other tutorials. If you've used FabFilter's multiband compressor, it's a similar principle to what that is able to do. What's also really great about this is a zero latency plugin, so you could use it live, or if you want to automate it and you need to adjust it on the fly, it's not going to affect your mix, which is fantastic. There's no buffering required. It's completely on the fly capable, which all the new Waves plugins seem to be, which is really brilliant. For the cost of it, this would not have existed. This has blown my mind that it's only about $30. When I first started doing this, dynamic EQ didn't even exist really. You could get a hardware unit that would set you back about $5,000, and now to have it capable across every single channel, if you would, at this price is just absolutely insane. Waves are killing it this year with this. So let's have a quick listen to this in the mix, just A and B on and off, and you can just hear what it's doing and the behavior of it.
With you by my side, nothing left to say. Riding all night long. With you by my side, nothing left to say. Feel an emptiness inside.
Again, that's just one of a million uses. I mean, the beauty of this is the vocal changes throughout the course of a track, and this EQ is able to adjust and ebb with that flow, which is absolutely fantastic. If you haven't got a dynamic EQ yet, it's probably the best value one out there you're going to find at this point. Hope the video has been helpful for you guys. I am going to create another one comparing neutron and isotopes dynamic EQs as well, so stay tuned for that if you found this helpful, and I shall see you on the next one.